Hi. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Yesterday was shearing day at another ranch, and I went over and helped them, and we were able to sneak our little peanuts in and get them sheared as well. That was the image on Facebook. So, yeah, they're so fast when they're professionals. What would have taken us 90 minutes, 2 hours, they didn't. For all three sheep, they did, I don't know, 15 minutes. It was crazy. 20 minutes at the most. It's neat when you have professionals who know what they're doing, and they knew they had done Shetland sheep before, and it was cool to watch. It was so fast to watch because they're so tiny. Zip, zip, zip. Anyway, so good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope you're doing amazing. The conversation today is continuing the dialogue about income over shame, right? And today we're talking about worth. What is it that you do to keep your worth? How do you operate so that you don't wind up working from a different place and not using your tools and your techniques uh, to deal with this understanding of who you are? Does that make sense? So my goal is to help you become aware of your state and your understanding um, of how shame just sits in the background, and it runs this whole idea of I'm not good enough. I could do something different. Maybe I need to do something different. So that's going to be our continued conversation. Work worth. How to and it's all comes down to receiving. Shame keeps us from receiving. Think about that for just a moment. If we don't accept, if we don't receive, and here's the challenge, Sadhguru says, in this moment, choose joy or choose misery. Everything is your responsibility, your ability to respond. Everything that comes into your life is your receiving, right? Everything that comes into your life, you receive. It's the way with which you're wired to receive it that determines how you see it. Think about that. So today, kind of, if there was a subtitle to today, what would it look like? What would it sound? It would sound something like heal the root, um, hold the wealth, harvest the action, right? So what's this idea of what's next? Yesterday, we had a conversation and right now you're possibly in the in between. You're in the gap. You are in the gap. You've not crossed the gap. You've gotten into the gap. And this is about being able to have a conversation that's very sensitive, that's highly emotional, and we need to rearm our systems, right? If you've ever left your house, if you've ever had an alarm system and you armed the system, and the system you armed it, but there kept being a default, there kept being a window that was open or something was open, and you couldn't, and you had to rearm the system, you had to reset it. That's what we're doing here. That's the conversation we're doing here. We're rearming the system to get you into this new income patterns. Now, income, when we hear the word income, we usually think of money. That's true. I'm talking about everything that comes into your life. Mental profits. One of my companies is called Mental Profits. Your thoughts create your income, and income is everything that flows into your life. So just write down the word income. And this income is all the things. Right now, the message that I'm hearing, the message that I'm hearing, the message that you're hearing, right? Messages that I'm hearing too in my head. The messages that you're hearing are this frequency that there are no words in your mind. You're hearing a vibration. You're hearing my tone. You may hear I'm rested. You may hear an energy in my voice. You may hear something, and there's a pattern. There's a pattern that you're familiar with, and your brain is next in. And as your brain continues to next, it's hearing 4 or 5 potential conversations, right? If you could fill in the words to what I'm saying, it's because you're nexting. All right. So understanding that, my goal is to see if I can't shift some of that, if I can't interrupt that pattern, that nexting with some new thoughts. Because when you're in a shame loop, and we're talking about shame, and there's a chance that you could be dropped into a shame loop, you could wind up activated. Yeah, no, it's over there to YouTube. Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure. Does that make sense? So my goal is to make sure that as we have this conversation, and a suggestion might be, is as you have a conversation with people, to realize that if you're going to ask them to do something they've never done, they're going to feel a way they've never felt and think a way they've never thought, to do something they've never done, which makes them feel a way they never felt, to get a result they've never had, you've got them in a shame loop. I've never done this before. I'm not good at this. I don't know how to do this. Man, I need some help. What's a good script? How do I do this? Well, I'm afraid to fail. Where do I do this? Oh my gosh, this would just be easier to quit. You can't really quit something if you never start it. And if you start something new, there's a darn good chance you're going to enter into a shame loop. Does that make sense? So take a big breath. Take a few big breaths. Settle in. And just income. Just the word income. Don't tie it to money. Just income. All things coming into my life. Income. Any of the sounds that you hear in your room right now? Anything you're feeling, the bed, the shirt, your clothes, your shoes, your socks. So as you settle into this, and as you become aware of this, you don't have an income problem. You have tons of income, 24 hours a day, every second of every day. You have a receiving reflex. Listen carefully. You have a receiving reflex. What's a reflex? Something happens, it's an automatic response. Somebody goes and begins to knock over a glass. You reach for it or you back away. Something goes to fall into your lap. You either grab it or you let it pass through. Somebody points a rubber band at you and you want to do this. Those are reflexes. They're not conscious decisions. So we don't have an income problem. We have a receiving reflex that was trained by shame. You might want to write that down. It's an awareness that might change a lot of things for you. If you're struggling with monetary income, meaning you want more, you need more, you don't have 6 months in a safety environment, that if something happened, you're good for the next 6 months, a year, you have a receiving reflex that was trained by shame. Most people think they're bad at sales. They're not worth. How many people have you enrolled in your side gig, your side hustle, your network marketing business, who feel they're not worthy of the high prices of their product? Oh, it's just too expensive. I'll sell it at wholesale. I'll give it to them at my price. How many people do you know are afraid of making a profit? Or you're just unlucky in money. I'm not good at money. There's a deeper truth. Listen carefully. This is how the neuroencoding works in our body. Dollar figure, $100, $200 is just a number. When does $200 have a meaning? If you go to buy a car and it's a $50,000 car, it's a $50,000 car. Do you get emotionally a little stressed about that? Stress is in our body. This is in our nervous system. Shame is in our nervous system. So those who think they're bad at sales or not worthy of the high prices, or I never seem to have any luck with money. They're running a shame loop that blocks the nervous system from allowing income. This is in your nervous system. That's why you can get the best script in the world. You can have the world's greatest product and still struggle. This is simply about our nervous system. You have been trained by shame. So what is a shame loop? A shame loop is a neuro-emotional cycle that activates when you try to step into more wealth, more visibility, social media. I don't like to do lives. Oh my God, I'm so nervous about lives. You're not doing a live for anybody. You're in front of a camera by yourself. Seriously? You're in front of a camera by yourself. What you're afraid of is how the result will look. That is shame. You tell somebody, hey, this is my first one. It's probably going to be my worst one. People who do their first videos get more likes. People are cheering for them. And then the shame really kicks in when their views go from 100 to 80 to 70 to 50 to 20 to 10. They're like, oh my God, nobody's watching. There's nothing new. It was new when you were new. Just makes sense? That's an emotional cycle, a neuro-emotional cycle. So let's talk about the shame loop of money. Oh my gosh, I'm charging too much. They could get this at Walmart for cheaper. They could get it at Temu for cheaper. Who do I think I am? Ugh, I'll be rejected if I'm seen like that. What if they find out I'm not enough? What if they find out I'm not worth the price of my product? What? It also looks like the shame loop, this neuro-emotional cycle that activates in your nervous system to block you when you want to step into more wealth, more visibility, or more success. It looks like this: discounting before you're asked, apologizing for your price, getting excited about an idea, then ghosting your own success. saying next week when you meant right now. It's not laziness. It's a nervous system response trained to see income, listen carefully, as a threat to safety, not a reward to value. Your income, $1,000 this week. You are going to create value of $1,000 this week. It's only Wednesday. You got plenty of time. You can create $1,000 this week. Where do you feel that in your stomach? You're going to create $1,000 of value this week. Do you feel threatened? Do you ask where, how, why, what am I going to do? Are you informing me that you don't believe you have $1,000 of worth of value to offer? What would it require for you to offer $1,000 of value this week? It would require you to shatter a safety net of not doing it. It would require you to reallocate energy and time. You could easily do $1,000 in the next. You could do $1,000 today. How do I know? Because you've done $1,000 before in a day. You were surprised. You were shocked. For some of you, the number might be 10,000 in a day. You were excited. Did you have it $5,000 day, $1,000 day, a $10,000 day, a $20,000 day? Did you get excited? Why'd you get excited and not mad? Because it was fun. That's the challenge that's happening right now. So where does this come from? Listen carefully. There's a good chance, there's a very good chance that you were never taught how to separate income from identity. I know that was my mom's entire, I shouldn't say entire, from my perspective, our income, my dad's income, is what made my mother feel valuable. When she could donate stuff, when she could give to church, when she could do a lot of the things that she wanted to do, buy lunch for herself or the girlfriends when they went out to lunch. Income has a huge, huge identity crisis. And then my dad lost his job. He actually quit. And you'd have thought nothing changed. Nothing changed in the first 2 or 3 weeks, but everything around the house changed. Income was still there. Money was still in the bank. Nothing was different other than the future potential. And that caused chaos. What am I going to do? What's my new story? We got to do this. We got to do that. If you've ever felt I'm not ready, it's likely because shame conditioned your brain to associate receiving with judgment, abandonment, or punishment. So, to repeat, there's a good chance we were never taught how to separate income from our identity. So when income shows up, it subconsciously becomes a, how would I say it? It becomes an indicator of your worth. And if right now you're struggling with some income, what do you think you're worth? It's connected. It is so connected. So this is the neuroeconomics. Think about that. Neuroeconomics, the way your brain feels about your business model. This is neuroeconomics meets trauma imprinting. Isn't judgment a form of trauma? Isn't abandonment a form of trauma? Isn't punishment a form of trauma? So all of a sudden now, when we really dive deep into understanding the shame loop of our worth and our income, and if we've ever said, I'm not ready, think about it for just a moment. You have a potential business model. You have a potential business plan. You have a business model that would allow somebody to get started for very little income. Very little income. And there's huge, massive upside potential. It's called leverage. Why would somebody say no to a business model like that? First thing is shame. Oh my gosh, I could see where I could do this. I'm not going to do it. Follow me? So now, how do we reframe this conversation? How do we shift the understanding? So take a big breath, clear your vagus nerve. Did you feel some release in your body? That's neuroencoding. Your body's building stress. So here, let me reframe this for you. Let me give you a change the way you look at things. It's the same thing, but let's change the way you look at it, right? So if you ever had if you were to imagine taking a piece of paper and writing on a 6 on it. So you look at it as a 6. If you were on the other side of the table, what number would you see? A 9. Same piece of paper with the same ink on it. But because you're looking at it from the other side, it looks like a 9. You follow me? I'm going to put you on the other side of this income challenge. So right now, you do not need more tactics. You do not need more strategy. How? You know, you have plenty of strategy. What we really need to do, what I hope I can help you do, is to unhook the shame loop that tells your nervous system you'll be hurt if you succeed. Well, I mean, I have no problem with that. What's your current status? This is huge in relationships. This is huge in connections with family. This is huge in building communities. There's a story somewhere. If you're currently struggling, that's playing. There's a story that's playing, a movie that's playing in your head, that if I change this, whatever this is, your current status, your current state, your current results, if I change this, there's a chance I could be hurt. So listen carefully to this. You do not need to be more valuable, right? Jim Rohn said, if you want to become I think it was Jim Rohn said, become more valuable to valuable people. You do not need more valuable. You do not need to be more. You are already valuable enough. Here's the key. Here's the key. You ready for the Paul Harvey? And now the rest of the story. Listen carefully. It is required that you feel safe holding value in public. What? Say that again, Sean. I will. You don't need to be more valuable. Hang on. You are wildly valuable. The phrase become more valuable to valuable people is that you need to feel safe holding value while being seen. Somebody should be saying bonus, not to neuro-linguistically program you. To understand that statement,
bonus.
We need to feel safe holding value. Thank you, Diane. Value while being seen, while being in public. That should be a little pressure relief. Oh, I don't have to learn more. I'm freaking amazing. Touch yourself and go, I'm valuable. Put your hand over your heart, say, I'm valuable. Follow me? I am valuable. Isn't that cool? I'm valuable. This is true. Now I need to be okay with that being of value while being in public. That's the key. That's the key. Becoming valuable while in public. Being seen as valuable while in public. Isn't that a big aha? Because you can learn, listen carefully, you can learn all the things you need to do. You can learn all the conversations. You can learn how to do more, write more, do more scripts, how to create an email list. There's no reason to create an email list unless you're going to talk to somebody. And that would mean you're going to provide value in an email. So you ready? You ready for the next big aha? The most powerful thing, the most courageous thing you can do for your income isn't hustle. This is right. Working smarter, not harder. Working harder hasn't worked. Hustling harder, pushing more, getting into the grind is not, will never be the answer. Take a big breath. This one's going to land. Here's the biggest thing, the most powerful thing, the most valuable thing, the most incredible thing, the most earth-shattering thing you could do right now is to heal the hidden contract that says more money equals more pain. We need to heal that contract because that's a contract you currently have. It's a contract we probably all have. I have it. I work on it daily. This idea that more money equals more pain in our conscious mind, in our story mind, we're like, yeah, that's the stupidest thing ever. Look at your current results. You probably are comfortable, but you're not comfortable. You can get by, but you're tired of getting by. You might be in a hole. You got some shoveling to do, some climbing to do. And climbing means I got to climb over people or do something. We have a contract. Write it down. More money equals more pain.
Bonus.
And write this. I choose to heal this contract. Where do you feel that in your body? If you feel it in your gut, that's your solar plexus. That's your sacral, your loving, creative chakra. You're like, I don't know how to do this. This is shit. I'm shifting identities. I'm choosing to heal this. So listen carefully. When you step out of the shame loop, this has happened in your past, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. When you've stepped out of that shame loop, your behavior changes radically without forcing it. This is how we become unbelievably focused. If we ever had to get somebody to a hospital and we said, I need to borrow your car, or we called somebody and we were at wit's end. And when you step out of any loop in your life, that you've stepped out of, your behavior changes radically without forcing it. Type an R in the chat if you know what you know an experience in your life I'm talking about. You stepped out of a loop where you did something that was totally cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, out the edge, off the edge, out crazy, and you did it without forcing it. You became in alignment. You stepped into alignment. Talking about our products, your price is in alignment. What you thought was expensive, you meet somebody that you know beyond a shadow of a doubt it's going to be of value to them, of service to them, and the price is insignificant because they need the result. You ask without flinching. These are those moments. You ask without flinching. What if a new motto was ask without pain? If mirror neurons exist and people feel our frequency, and if what you think about and think about, you bring about, if you ask with pain in your own voice, in your own thoughts, in your own heart, in your own nervous system, if you ask with pain, what do they hear the price is? A joyful price or a painful price? And what would be their appropriate response? If you ask them in pain from your shame loop, what do they hear? You can't have law of attraction and it only worked for the good. It's the law of attraction. So if you're in a shame loop, asking for somebody to help you in your shame loop, all they can do is help you maintain your shame loop. And you get back a response that feeds your shame loop. And you're like, this would be so good for them. I don't know why they don't get it. It's because you didn't even give them a chance to get it. You know what happens when you stop forcing? You don't overshare or have to prove. You stop defaulting to survival mode. And you create from desire, not desperation. Right? There's a couple of kinds of marketing. There's push marketing where I shove it out to you. There's pull marketing where I say stuff and you go, ooh, I want some of that. I want some of you. And then there's what I call heart marketing, where you show up and people say, I need you in my life. I don't know what it is you do. I don't know how you do it or where you do it. I just need to be around you. You've all had that experience. That's when you were no longer in any shame loop and you had a radical shift without forcing anything. Does that make sense? this radical shift is you transform from these words saying is it okay if I succeed as a question to of course I succeed. It's safe for me. Of course I succeed. And it's safe for me too. Could you imagine? What would it mean? Say that. It's safe. Success is safe for me too. Success is safe for me. Where do you feel that in your body? Where's that expression of energy showing up in your body right now? So, for those of you watching this on YouTube, I invite you to a 2-day challenge that I'm doing on this shame loop of income. Shame keeps us from our income. So it's called Income Over Shame. It's a 2-day challenge, 90 minutes a day. You want to learn more, click the link in the video in the description, and you'll be able to register yourself for the 2-day challenge. So I'm going to have a conversation now with the inner circle and talk a little bit more about this. So, well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. What's your takeaways? What'd you learn? What'd you like? What'd you feel? What was your expression? What was your understanding today? What'd you hear? Good morning, good morning, good morning. It was so fun. They sheared 80 sheep yesterday and 3 little peanuts. They're so tiny. They were so tiny compared to those sheep over there. I mean, some of the sheep over there, they came up to almost my hip. And my sheep come up to just above my knee. It was so funny. Watching Apollo was so gentle. He flipped a couple of times, but he would just lay there, because they shear them like you see it from New Zealand and Australia. They flip them over on their back and shave their, and just, it was real fun to watch. Questions, comments, thoughts, takeaways. What'd you learn? What'd you like? What was your ahas?
Good morning, Sean.
Good morning, Wheezy.
How are you this morning?
Outstanding with skinny sheep.
They look so cute. I always feel like there must be burr, but oh my goodness, I'm sure you were amazed at how quickly that happened.
I mean, I carried them in, right? Because I had to get them out of the back of the pickup. My buddy let me borrow his truck with his cage in it. And I picked them up. Apollo, I walked in, but the other girls, Astrid and Bunny, and we had to bring Zorro with Bunny because she'd have freaked out if we left her without her baby.
Oh, wow.
So I carried him in, and Michelle was holding holding Zorro, but I just carried him in, and because their sheep are 200 pounds, 300 pounds. They're big sheep. I mean, they're big. And and just like when you bring in a baby, everybody in the barn went, oh, because they'd never seen our Shetland sheep before. And then they got even cuter when you took all the wool off them because they went from this to this. It was so funny.
There must have been wool everywhere.
Oh, there was wool everywhere. There was.
Yeah. That's awesome. What a terrific experience.
It was.
It's kind of indicative of what we're talking about, isn't it? Shearing the shame.
Yep, shearing the shame.
So something that you said that I went, oh my gosh, that really has happened to me. And that was when you said, when I step out of my shame loop, my behavior changes radically.
Mm-hmm.
And just to remind you, when I was approached, I need you. a gal came up to me and said, I need you. I was out, I had stepped out of my shame loop, but my response was boom, right back in.
Yep.
Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Help. Prevention.
So what part of you did she need? Did she need the part that did she need the part that she thought didn't know?
Oh no.
She needed the part that did know.
Yes.
Which part of you responded?
The part that didn't know.
But didn't you know?
I did know. I was.
So then how did
the shame was that I
how
knew.
did the not know show up? Let's not use shame just yet. How did the not know show up? This is powerful, everybody. I hope you hear this. When somebody asks you, I need your help, we're like, huh? Which part of you are they asking? Are they asking when you are requested for your assistance? Are they asking the part of you that doesn't know?
No,
or are they asking for the part of you that knows what they don't know?
They're asking for the part of me that knows what they don't know.
Then why do we instantly go to, well, I don't know what they want?
Was it that I didn't know what they wanted, or that I didn't want to?
No, you did. You weren't sure you could give them what they wanted.
Exactly.
You thought, yeah. So you thought, well, I don't know. I don't know what they want. Which is why we have to ask the next question. Great. How can I be of best service?
How can I be of best service?
And you'll be surprised. I don't know how to open a can of tuna fish. Oh, what? Yeah, I figured you know how to open a can of tuna fish.
And that truly, that has been, having worked with her for a few weeks now, that truly is just asking, how can I be of service to you today?
Every time. Here's
Every
the thing. We think that, oh, well, I already asked them. They know I'm here for service. They forget.
Well, and then I'm in an assumption, but I am in an assumption state as if I have a clue without them saying anything. So I don't know their brain.
You don't know what, listen, y'all have come to me with a variety of requests. How could I be of service? I come with an absolute, it's not hard for me, empty mind, because there's not much up there. So I show up, how can I be of service? There's no requirement on my part. If I can't be of service, I'll tell you. But funny how it usually turns out that I'm of value. Here's the challenge. You're about to become of service. I love this statement. I love that understanding. You have to be able to hold a space of value while being seen.
Yes, that was impacting.
So that's where the challenge is can I be valuable of being seen? We think when we need to go do something epic is when you help somebody advance, period. There's some of the simplest, fundamentally basic statements that shift our lives. They're not cataclysmic, etched in stone statements, but they help us break free from the chains we're in. They're just simple. It's just being present. Sometimes it's just listening. And a lot of people suck at listening. How can I be of service?
It's an ongoing exercise for me.
So why does it have to, what is the ongoing exercise? Is it running on a treadmill, staying in the same spot, or are you advancing? What's the ongoing?
No, it's ongoing to advance. I catch myself thinking of an answer, and I have to stop myself and get back into listening.
So that just proves your multiple personality and crazy. Who thinks of an answer that they need to present? And then and then another version of you says, go sit down. You need to become aware that you're not, we kill ourselves by thinking we're always the same person. I come up with an answer. That's not a version of me comes up with an answer that wants to be egotistically verbal to show I know. And then the part of me says, that's not what they need right now. Mm-hmm. We're in service right now, but we have to become aware of that we're separate things. Otherwise, shame shows up and says, look at me, I'm just a total mess. A total mess. We don't say that part of me is a mess, but the rest of me is cool.
Yeah, you're right. That's exactly what we say.
Oh, I'm a total mess.
I'm such a mess.
Yeah, but you're not all of you's a mess.
Just fraction.
Just a fraction of me is a mess. There's a part of me that's an a-hole. Not all of me, but there's a part of me that's a real jerk. And sometimes he fights his way to the top, or the ones who should be there give way. That part of me, because of the things I've been through in my life, is just standing at the corner's edge and is ready to absolutely, if they give me space, I'm showing up. So my goal is to not give that space, right, which means I'm required to be on stage. It's kind of like a filibuster.
A
filibuster. Where you get to maintain the stage as long as you're talking. So sometimes I'm not sure what I'm doing, but I know if I stop talking, if I stop awarenessing, I know that's not a word, that part of me steps right up. It can't force its way in, but if I give it space, it can show up. So we have to be aware of what are we giving space to? Oh, I just quit. Well, the part of you that quits isn't the part that quits. The part of you that quits gives somebody else a chance to do something else that causes you to fall even farther. So when somebody says, I need your help, why does a part of you run and hide?
It's a habit.
Okay, so how do you break a habit?
It's a habit. By practicing, how can I be of service?
Yeah. I need your help. What's the response? What's the response? I need your help.
How can I help you?
Nope. How can I be of service?
How can I be of service?
See, when you say help, that means, oh my gosh, I'm broken. That puts them more in.
Right. How can I be of service?
I used to, when I was starting sales, because I'm a problem solver. Everybody says I'm a problem solver, right? We all say I'm a problem solver. What's your biggest problem today? Who's got problem? How can I help you? Oh God, another person who thinks they know me.
That didn't even, oh my gosh, that's so apparent.
Right?
I went, oh my God.
Oh, I'm such a loser. Everybody can help me. I can't even help myself. How can I help you? You can't help me. I'm helpless. Right? What's the stories that run at an unconscious, subconscious level so fast? This is who I am. I don't think I'm helpable.
Oh wow, that help word.
Help is such a debilitating word.
It is, and
not from the giver, from the hearer. The giver wants to help.
Which is why
Let me help you with that. Oh, I don't need no help.
Absolutely. It's so, and now I get why. What do? I help. No, you don't.
No, you don't. I mean, maybe you do, but so I don't need you.
Right.
I don't need your help.
Right.
How can I be of
Is
service?
that ego? Is that
No, it's truly it's how we're taught to stay in shame.
okay.
It's literally how we are taught to stay in shame by the words we were taught to use to engage people. Can I help you with that? No.
I just got a flash of Brad Chambers right now. And I only know the story.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Wow, this has just been amazing, and I want to hear all about the challenge. But I thank you, thank you, Sean.
You are welcome.
I
And
love you.
the key is to understand this is how we were taught. Well, I want to be helpful. Great, but nobody wants help. But I'm gonna make them want my help. Okay, well, let me know how that works. Which is why in the 3 questions I asked, do I have your permission to help?
Yes,
I don't say, do I have your permission to be of service?
right.
I'll ask the 3 questions. And then at the end of that, do I have permission to take you out of that uncomfortable feeling? Yes, great. How can I be of best service today? I get rid of the word help. You won't hear me say help ever again. You'll hear me say things. Does that help? Is this helping?
Yeah.
Because if they say yes, then I'm maintaining my permission. But the key, how can I be of service? And if it's somebody new I'm being introduced to, they'll do the intro. They'll do the 3-way intro, edification, and then listen. With that and 25 cents, you can't buy a cup of coffee. So let me ask you the real question: how can I be of service today? Well, you can do this, that, and the other. Great. I have 3 questions I typically ask people to provide the best value, and most people say they're powerful questions. So, would I have your permission to ask these 3 questions? But it always starts off with, how can I be of service? There is never an assumption that they want anything. They sure as hell don't want my help. They'll say that till the help shows up, and then they're like,
Absolutely. Thank you.
You are welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Love you so much.
Love you too. Anyone else? Last thoughts, comments, questions, takeaways, take with you. Listen, it's a tough topic. And the reason it's a tough topic because we never talk about shame. Who's going to talk about shame? Because it triggers shame. You got to be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs to think you're going to go teach this. And I'm not teaching it. I'm making you aware of things you're like, oh my God, I do that. Oh my God, I do. Yes, you are programmed within your nervous system to maintain your shame. If you use titles, those are shame protectors. Listen, I know I use them. I manipulate with them. I move you into new energies that you weren't in. The key is you got to promise to use this stuff for good. We're all manipulating. Oh, I don't like that word. What? You're either manipulating or being manipulated. If you're not where you want to be, you're being manipulated out of your greatness. Period. End of story. Full stop. Next page. Somebody has told you you're not qualified to be at the level you dream of. That's manipulation. Ugh. He's called suck. Yeah, I hope they suck the fear out of you. I hope they suck the shame out of you. Because you also are getting the battle orders of how to step around this, how to step through this, the awareness of it.
When
I
you
love you
said
too.
I use titles, what do you mean exactly?
Well, titles are racist. And what I mean by that is they force us to be something different than the other person. That's what race is. We think we're different. So when I say things like I'm a farm boy from Ohio, anybody here as a farm boy from Ohio? So that gives me a certain je ne sais quoi that's I'm different. Doesn't mean I'm special. Could mean I'm special. If you know anything about me, you're going to assume it's special. So then what happens is that, oh my God, in order for me to succeed, I got to become a farm boy from Ohio. Well, I'm a grown ass man. I can't go back to being a kid, so I suck. That triggers shame. When we think I have to do what you've done to have what you have, that's shame.
Oh my gosh, I do that all the time.
So it triggers a shame loop. So now we have a shame conversation, which makes us feel more shame, them shame, and then we leave and nobody's got a dang thing that's more than what they want. Now, if you say it knowing that it's true, that's why you'll hear me say, and barely made it through high school, right? And I'm smiling, mirror neurons in my voice. It's not triggering shame. It's like, oh, okay, this is your story. But if you're telling your story, what's the only thing you can think of? Your story.
Me?
I'm not good enough. I can't do this. Oh my God, I got to be stupid to succeed.
I
But
just
we
don't.
say it because it's the only time we get to really identify ourselves. So we say it from such a shame place that it triggers shame in everybody else. Until we say it enough and it's no longer shameful for us.
With a smile and a tone of and a
Tone and a
tone.
laughter.
Yeah. Wow.
Right? My first year was $80,000. Wait for it. Wait for
Yeah.
in debt. And that creates laughter. But if I start off and say, hey, listen, my first year, listen, let me tell you why I can teach you how to avoid pain. Now, I lost $80,000 my first year. Lost it. Lost. Who wants to hear? Holy shit. I'm going to listen to you. You're going to teach me how to lose money? God, I'm doing pretty good on my own. I don't need a mentor for that. So I triggered the emotion. My first year in network marketing was $80,000. Wait for it. Oh, wait for it. What do you mean? Wait for what? Oh my gosh. Right? I went from here to here real quick.
But it also, when I heard that, I went, oh, I can talk to him.
Yeah. See, it triggered shame when I said $80,000.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God, I made $80,000 yet. Wait. In debt. Oh, we're like brothers. Like brother and sister.
Interesting.
So I
Well,
know how to ride the shame. And shame literally is what we call rapport.
oh, I'm gonna write that down. Bonus.
Think about it.
Wow. Bonus.
In order for you to be like me, I got to feel like you got to feel like me. And if we're both operating from a shame loop, we got to feel okay to talk about our shame. Because we're not okay to talk about our success. That's why one of us is listening to the other one. We have to be okay with each other's shame. And your shame can't trigger me to be more. Because if it does, people come up to you and say, oh my God, I could never do that. Oh my God, that was such a good speech. Wasn't a speech. I was training. I was teaching. Oh, but their shame says, oh, they can give speeches. I used to think that was cool when people go, I could never do that. I'm like, damn right you can't. In my head, I'd say. Till I realized I was triggering shame in them. And if they could never do what I do, then they could never have what I have. And therefore, this whole thing is going to collapse inside of a minute.
Fascinating.
Isn't it fascinating when you see the other side of it?
It truly is. Thank you, thank you, thank you again.
You're welcome, welcome, welcome. It feels good to have this awareness, doesn't it? And we're still talking about shame. It feels good to know that none of this was ever mine. Imagine I give you a garden and it's all full of weeds. And you don't know what a weed looks like. But you're growing this green garden because it's the only thing green. It's the only thing getting watered. It's the only thing growing. It's got a fence around it to keep the chickens out. And you're like, look at my garden. And somebody comes along and goes, the hell are you going to eat? Well, I'm going to eat the fruit out of that. That's weeds. It's garbage. It's junk. Oh my gosh, I've been tending to a weed garden my whole life. Hell yeah. Then we don't show anybody our garden ever again. Unless we grow new plants. And the problem is we got to grow new plants. We got to start them with what? Seeds. Listen, the soil grows stuff. You can grow shame. You can grow plants. Challenge is you got to pull the shame out. Imagine trying to plant a seed. Imagine, you know how on the forest floor, the trees canopies, the sun doesn't get down and you try to plant stuff going, why doesn't anything grow? Because the sun never sees it. You are not visible. So being able to hold value in the eyes of public or to be seen is how we step out of shame. Oh, by the way, we're gonna screw up. And what Brene Brown says, right, is that vulnerability gives everyone else strength. And we're afraid to be vulnerable. Oh my gosh, I messed up so bad. Tell the story. Tell the story.
Bonus.
Tell the story. And that gives other people courage. You heard Silke say the other day when she put one word on a post, one word, not a picture, not a movie, not a reel, one word, devastated. People came out of the woodwork. What happened? You okay? Can I be of help? What do you want to do? Should we talk? Blah, 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 blah. It's like, who? One word. People are ready for pain. And the more pain you're in, the more people show up. Now, that's the shame side of it. You put up the word devastated shows up and somebody goes, oh, well, at least I'm not devastated. So I'm better than that. I don't have to trigger my shame to have a conversation with this person. There were people that I have no doubt, absolutely wanted to check in and they felt sorrow. They felt, my friend is hurting. Other people went, time to go. Right? There were vultures flying in. What's wrong? How can I help? Right? She's in she had a side business. Blah, 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 blah. Right? Then to do that from if she typed the word abundance, she'd probably get likes, no comments. People literally typed words in for the negative. She types abundance, she'll probably get a lot of hearts. Probably a lot less. Because people, when they see the word abundant, go, I don't have that, so I can't click like. Oh, she's always happy. She always travels. And they start coming up with excuses of why they don't have abundance. She didn't say she had abundance. She just typed the word. Y'all see that? Yeah, I mean, y'all are getting this. Y'all are competent enough to comprehend this, to say, oh my God, I'm dealing with lunatics. which we're all a part of, by the way. I don't isolate myself from lunatic land. We're all we're dealing with lunatics. And when we understand that the crazies are running the prison, the inmates have now taken over, the inmates are now running the prison, it's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And now once you know those rules, you're like, oh, this is easy. This is so easy. Because I'm talking to crazy people. It's easy to talk to crazy people because you know they're crazy. You think they're not crazy. That's why you have problems. You think they want your help. No, that's just their excuse to say, well, I asked for help and I never get it. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I know Dubby. I'm going to go out and see our skinny sheep. I'm your head brain training, brain scrambling, stepping into your powerhouse loop of success. I'll see y'all where?
At the
At the
next
next
event.
event.
At the next event. Does somebody give me some Costa Rica?
Pura
Pura
vida.
vida.
Pura vida. We love you, Mark. And some Lydia.
Peace be with
Peace
us
be
all.
with us.
Everyone.
Peace and courage be with us all. And to the queen of helping you discover your best loop of success, Jessie Lee Ward.
Bosley.
Boss Lee, we love you, girl.
Boss Lee.
All right, everybody, in a little white fluffy.
Gurgly,
Gurgle,
gurgly.
gurgle, gurgle.
Gurgly.
We love you, Fee. All right, everybody, go have some fun. We will see you tomorrow morning. Bright-eyed and bushy. Tell them, Debbie. Tell them we'll see him tomorrow. All right, everybody. Love you tons. Bye for now.